Yo, people, welcome back to Danny AFC TV. Well, it's all after the transfer window. The fiasco of the window is over, and yes, it's back to Premier League and Europa League football, FA Cup and League Cup if you're other teams. Shouts out to Man United and Newcastle. They will fire out for the first trophy of the season, which is obviously the League Cup. Guys, please, first of all, be getting the likes on the videos. Do be subscribing if we is new. Couple of topics for today's show. Number one, does our new signings change our first 11 in any which way? Or is the 11 exactly as we was before January? Topic two, Amari Hutchinson. I heard Everton turned down a late loan for him yesterday. Chelsea offered basically to give the kid up. You go to Everton, get some minutes. But the strangest one is, allegedly between 8 and 9 o'clock last night, Manchester City put in a loan offer. I don't know why they thought they'll get Joy out of Leicester City on a loan, but a loan offer for James Maddison. And obviously, a lot of the internet and all the press talk and internet gossip columns today are full of Pep Guardiola is going to change a couple of things in the summer. Bernardo Silva is going to leave. And shouts out to Julie Akers. Bernardo Silva is going to leave. And they're going to make a full-blooded and hearted attempt to get James Maddison and, of course, Jude Bellingham to the Etihad Stadium. Linda, good evening. What's going on, people? Please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Florin Balogun, hat-trick today for Rems. Rems won 4-2. The boy has now got to be literally the second top scorer in Spain. I don't expect in France. Sorry, I obviously don't expect him to outscore Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe is obviously one of the world's best strikers. But bid number 2, just behind Mbappe, ain't too bad. We're going to have to ask ourselves serious questions before we start thinking of overhauling the squad once again in the summer, which wouldn't be an overhaul, of course, but we've had 3 signings in January, and a brief look into the summer window is already making me ask a couple of questions of, is there any room for any of the kids at the club? I am talking Austin Chusty, Charlie Patino, Nuno Tavares, and Florin Balogun mainly. We have been linked with a Juventus, a 17-year-old under 18 Holland international, Dean Hudson. I think he's actually even played for Juventus, and he's only 17. He has played as part of a back 3 for Juventus this season. So if you're 17 and you are going to play for Juventus, I know Juventus ain't in the greatest form and the time and period of their lives, but he has actually clocked up some minutes at Juventus. And he's got a contract situation, obviously, there and blah, blah, blah. But if you're looking for a decent 17-year-old, perhaps as good as Van Dijk in a few years' time, Dane Hudson allegedly could be a guy. Juventus centre-back. Arsenal and Barcelona are keeping a close eye on this. Summer news, a surprising one has come up. Arsenal have been linked with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Mikel Arteta reckons he can get a tune out of him that no one else at Chelsea could. As far as summer spending, Ivan Fresenda, I've been hearing a lot of talk about why he never did join Arsenal or Borussia Dortmund. Of course, we'll open up the can of worms of Salcedo and Rice. Rafinha has been mentioned at length today by a lot of people. I've put no strikers in there because we seem to have Balogun scoring goals for fun. Will he be the 3rd striker, the 2nd striker, etc. next season? And what happens to Jack Grealish at Man City? Might not be my business being an Arsenal fan, but 1+1, I have a feeling Jack Grealish will be linked to Arsenal very, very soon. Guys, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. So Chelsea need to get rid of a few people. I've heard there's only 4 of the current squad that of the current 8 that they bought in January. It's only possible to get at least 4 of them in the Premier League and the Champions League squad. The 4 would be Badia Shelley, Enzo Fernandez at over 100 million, quite predictably. Mikhailo Mudryk, who we got Ben over for. And the lone superstar himself, who we obviously rejected at 9.7 million as out of hand and way too much money, but Joao Felix. I still think Joao Felix is going to have a good couple of months at Chelsea, but less of the Chelsea talk, because we really will get a couple of Chelsea fans coming in thinking I'm a bit of a secret blue, and I've actually got a blue highlight today, the blue bubble, whatever it's called. Guys, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. This won't be the longest live in the world. I do have to be up very, very early. Got to be back in the man on the Holloway Road. Do you know what I mean? Near that coronet, Leo. He goes, near that coronet. Red is the colour always, most definitely. Blue looks cool. Red is the colour always. Oh yeah, red is always the colour. But this blue is kind of pretty piercing, I have to say myself. So, guys, for the early people up in the chat, Balogun, Liakers, what do you do with this guy? What do you do with Austin Trusty? Does he go out on loan again? He's about, 20 years old, I think, the American. He's had a good season. He's ever present for Birmingham. He's even scored a couple of goals for him. He scored 2 in one game. They won 2-1, like, superstar of the year. Charlie Patino. People have said he signed a 2-year deal with us recently. I'm honestly not sure. As far as I still know it, he's out of contract at the end of the season. Whether Arsenal are going to fix that up with Charlie Patino and his representatives, I'm unsure. What do you think of my early predictions of Jack Grealish being linked with Arsenal? 27? Is he coming into his 28th year? We're going to be talking about Jack Grealish in 3 years' time and how his career's kind of flown past him. I don't know, man. Jack Grealish has got everything a footballer needs. But it ain't working from a Man City. Something he said live on Sky Sports, it was he got the man of the match in one game for Man City, just before the World Cup, I think. Or was it just after? I think it was just before the World Cup. Leah, because you might have watched this one, but I'm now reading a little bit more into this. He basically said, Dean Smith at Villa, he used to just kind of fling me on and I'd play anywhere I liked. As long as I was creating, I was kind of just told to go out there and play football. Pep Guardiola, his response to that wasn't too beautiful. I see him say, I haven't asked him to do anything technical. I haven't basically made him sound thick. I haven't asked him to do nothing that shouldn't be too hard for him. I see people in the under-9s academy that are doing the same things that I'm asking of him. So in my opinion, it isn't my tactics that he's struggling with at my club. I think there's a problem there. There's obviously been a problem with Cancelo. He's obviously at Bayern Munich. And word is Bernardo Silva doesn't really want to be playing for them this season for whichever reason. This could all, and this was something Hazard, I suppose, was saying, and a bit of Zed last night on the channel, obviously, which could slightly make sense. And maybe, is this a blessing in disguise for Arsenal? Is there a couple of bits and pieces in the Man City, not the hierarchy, but within the squad and the harmony of the squad? Is it actually right? Are they all firing on the same page? Are they all firing on the same cylinder? Are they all reading off the same hymn page, if you like? If Bernardo Silva wants to leave, that's a brilliant little player there. But I have a feeling it's not because it's something to do with game time or minutes. I have a feeling it's just he probably wants to play for Barcelona. Rest in peace to Coronet. When's it gone, bros? Do you know when it's gone? We're gonna have to go in there and have a right few fucking fling the glasses around, all the food and everything. You have to pay for it first. I was saying, when they ask us to pay for it, say bollocks, it's free. I'm from the manor, and fucking it's closing down. That's my fucking parting gift. Both come back in the summer. Needs to challenge, as in Balogun and Austin Trusty or Charlie Patino. Patino, another loan spell though. Interesting. Because these was questions, and he has just jumped into the building. These are questions I was asking Hazard last night. And when you think about a stream after, or think about the hindsights and blah, 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 I do make a lot of sense of maybe what Hazard's saying on the discontent at Man City. Bernardo Silva, I'm hearing, wants to leave. And I think there's something up with Jack Grealish as well. The answer to the Jack Grealish thing, I don't know. Jack Grealish basically, it was very innocent what he said. He was just receiving a man of the match award. It was a couple of months ago, man, just before the World Cup. And he goes, basically, Dean Smith let me go out and play and let me do what the fuck I wanted to do. He goes, it's a bit different at City. We've got different responsibilities. You've got to kind of, without saying tracking back and fucking overly running, he just says it's different at City. And as a footballer at Man City, you've got different responsibilities to when you're a footballer at Aston Villa. Again, I could be reading too much into this, but I haven't felt the harmony's right for Jack Grealish. Even though he's still playing him, I think sometimes even the greatest managers in the world make mistakes, and maybe they want to mask over their mistakes, like perhaps Arteta would play a player that we didn't want him to play maybe a game too long, or maybe we thought someone should have been dropped, whether it was an Nketiah or whoever. I'm not talking this season, by the way, past tense. Sometimes managers just won't do it for whichever reason. As for Jack Grealish, WB, shouts out to you, brother. I'll come to everyone's comments in a second. As for Jack Grealish, he's 27, 28. Now, again, I'm not going to rule him out as being an old footballer, but I honestly think this poor motherfucker's career is actually going to go past him, and it's going to be like, well, what actually happened? I'm 32 now. Like, what's going on? Been in the reserves at Man City the last 2.5 years. What's going on? So I don't think it's going to play out like that. I do believe he'll go in the summer. And if their two top targets in the summer is true, which is Maddison, I think Maddison comes in to be their new creative player. Forget Bernardo Silva and Jude Bellingham. He goes straight into the central midfield, I suppose. Obviously, again, it's way too early to be getting into this kind of chat. But as far as I know it, Man City did make a loan offer. I'm not sure why it would be a loan. Obviously, it must have been something that wasn't pre-planned. And maybe they thought, listen, let's talk to them, get a loan. We'll buy them at the end of the season, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I don't know how true that story is. It wouldn't surprise me if Bernardo Silva's a bit pissed off. He's got rid of Cancelo. It's interesting stuff. Could this basically what? How dare you drop like that? Basically, what I'm saying, it didn't touch the camera. That's fantastic. It dropped right on top of the camera, but didn't move it. That's fucking fantastic play. Rockaway jacket, old school jackets, just took a little tumble and decided not to fuck with the camera. That's amazing. It didn't hit the camera. It just dropped right. I don't know if you see where my eyes look. It went right. Anyway, guys, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you are new. It is time to get into the comments. I hear Ivan Freshenda is very open to joining Arsenal at the end of the season. He would have, though, been equally as happy to go to Borussia Dortmund. He wants to, at 18, he must be quite a ballsy little kid. He wants to get out of Spain. He wants to go and experience something else already. His agent was saying, it's funny how he's such a good right back, but no one in Spain has kind of took a look at him. But he reckons he had over 30 30 offers in January: Spain, Italy, Germany, and mainly the Premier League and England. I'm going to quickly get into news, then it's comments. So, guys, I'm going to ask you a quick couple of questions. So, Dane Hudson, he's an under-18 Holland international. He's 17 years old. He plays for Juventus in Italy. Apparently, he's got a bit of a contract wrangle and a problem. And again, with their financial issues, who knows, he could be trying to play with them contractual-wise, or maybe he just wants to leave Italy. I'm not sure, but he's 17, and this guy has got one fuck of a CV already. He looks to be a good footballer. I've tried to look at a few clips and pieces of him before I come live. I tell you what, if I was looking, and I was saying this to Hazard last night, if we don't get a right back, you need a right-footed centre-back because Benny White is now a right back. I know he's only 17. But Dane Hudson, the Juventus centre-back, and he has got minutes for this season for Juventus. At 17 years old, he has played for them. He's played in a back as a part of a back three on a couple of occasions at least. So at 17, if you're breaking in, I know Juventus ain't the greatest team in the world no more, but they are still Juventus. If you're breaking into Juventus' team at 17, my feeling is you're probably half a decent player. Balogun hat-trick today against Reims. Reims win 4-2. Balogun hat-trick. He literally must be the second top scorer in France, obviously behind Kylian Mbappe. Guys in the chat, do you bring Balogun back to fight for an Arsenal place next season? This is to WB, to Akers, to Hazard, of course. Linda, do you bring Balogun back to fight for a place, or does Balogun get sold to try and get a summer budget together? If you really did, like Hazard says, we want Rice and Sosado. If that was true, there's a couple of sales. An Emil Smith-Rowe, a Vieira, a Balogun might have to be gone here. Do you know what I mean? A Lokonga, a Holding here, a Lokonga there could have to go. I'm already thinking of who I can sell in the summer. Let's get the deadwood out. Cedric, Lokonga, Marquinhos all left Arsenal in January. We replaced them with free. I'm not going to say like for like, but it was free in, free out. Cedric out, Lokonga out, Marquinhos out. Attacking wise, Trossard replaces Marquinhos. Jorginho replaces our 23-year-old Lokonga or 22-year-old Lokonga. And Cedric is replaced by a left-footed centre-back called Jacob. My brother, Hazard, what is good? Absolutely fuck Chelsea. Brothers, it's going to be interesting. I hear only 4 of their new superstar signings will be eligible for Premier League and Champions League football for the rest of the season. Badiashile, Mudrak, Enzo Fernandez, and Joe Felix. Everyone else might not even get a minute of football. They will not even be able to be registered. Like, there is some brilliant young talent now that faces perhaps 5 months of doing fuck all. I find it out of order. Lit stream last night, Danny. Most definitely has. Balogun. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Balogun has 16 goals in all competitions. Only Haaland and Kane have more goals. What about Mbappe? I'm sure Mbappe's got 25 in 25. I can tell you that factually. I was watching him today, and the stats are all over BT. Well, I'm not going to say factually. Maybe even BT got me wrong. But Mbappe's got 25 and 25, bruv. So I'm not going to say he's not got more than 25 as old Balogun. He might be behind Haaland, Kane, and Mbappe, and that isn't too embarrassing. So what do you do personally with him, WB? Does he get sold for 30, 40 million pounds? because he has got a reasonable amount of years left on his contract, teams will be watching him. Everyone loves a guy that can fuck off from their own country and go and score goals. AC Milan, teams like that, Inter Milan, I reckon they're probably keeping an eye on this geezer. There could be teams from Germany, most definitely watching Florent Balogun. But where he's had a decent season in France, Germany like to get the kids a bit more raw, a bit more fresh, as they say. And they want to pay a lot less money, basically. Let's get this camera down, honestly, my beautiful eyes. Right. Loved the pure Arsenal talk last night. No toxicity. I know what you're saying. Toxicity, that one. No conflict. Pure lit streams. No wonder your views are so high. They've actually statistically, bro, crazy enough, they took a drop again recently. Hopefully things get back to normal and we give the channel another good push again. Shouts out to you, Hazard Z, WB, Daniel is in the stream. Guys, Balogun, keep or sell. Daniel, this is for you. Does Austin Trusty come back to battle with the central defenders next season? Bearing in mind he is left-footed, the on-loan Birmingham central defender, Austin Trusty. Charlie Patino, Florian Balogun, and Nuno Tavares. Guys, I'd like answers on them 4 Arsenal loanees. I want to talk about Everton for a slight... No, let's finish the comments. We'll talk about Everton for a slight minute. Guys, I've just looked at their squad, like their 25-man squad or their 21-man squad. And 3 of them are goalkeepers. Sean Dych, you're going to have to... I don't even know if I can blame Frank Lampard for what's going on at Everton, you know. I'm going to tell you, their squad is super thin. Fuck me. Chelsea might still go for Salcedo in the summer. Makes sense as someone has to do the dirty work for Enzo. Most absolutely, definitely, bruvs. And I do believe what happened with, and I did say it to Hazard last night, Hazard was like, nah, Dan, you got it wrong. Arsenal made a very genuine, plausible, and a very real bid for Moises Caicedo. I reckon at £60 million, even though that sounds dumb to say, it's still a record transfer fee for Brighton. Brighton ain't in debt and they don't need to sell players. They were not going to be shaken or stirred by a £60 million bid from Arsenal. Remember, they kind of got 50 out of us for Benny White. So for someone they really genuinely see as a guy that as a non-goer, Brighton don't really sell the people they want to sell. I mean, the people that it isn't convenient for them. Trossard, they wanted out. They received 22 mil. They still got a profit on him, would you believe? You know what I mean? He's one of their most expensive signings at 18 million from Genk, but they still managed to get a profit on a guy that had 5 months on his contract, or 5.5 months, and he was told to get off the training pitch because he's a little girl, and he trains like a little girl. That is what Desegri actually did have to say about Trossard. Massively hard to prove, but I'm going to run with it. You're a little girl, fuck off home and go think about your life. That's what Roberto Desegri's told fucking Leonardo Trossard. You big fucking bird. Fuck off. And when you're a man, when you've got 2 knackers between your bollocks, you can come back to Brighton training. Obviously, he didn't grow them 2 testicles and he never returned to Brighton's training. Guys, shouts out to the real ones. Do be getting the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Daniel, I thought Enzo was that kind of defensive profile, or am I wrong? Bro, Enzo seems... And I'm talking on 3 games in the World Cup and the latter 3, the quarterfinal, semi-final, and the final. I'm going to be honest with you. Didn't even know who he was. Didn't know he paid for Benfica. Bros, but in fact, here's the next one. He signed from an Argentinian club for £10 million from Benfica in the summer, just gone. Bros, he hasn't even been at Benfica 1 year. Summer gone, he made his name. Well, he made his first big move in his life, £10 million to Benfica. 6 months later, it's 106 to Chelsea. Benfica must have fucking scouted a brilliant player. Not only whipped him in at £10 million, which they probably thought was a little bit too high priced for an unknown fucking Argentinian dude from I don't know, Argentinian Star 11 in fucking Buenos Aires or some bollocks. Sorry, obviously not. But Buenos Aires? I don't think so. But someone had the foresight to whack £106 million contract on this release clause on this geezer's head. They must have known they were buying gold immediately. As for £106 million, very overpriced. How much did the World Cup help with that valuation there? It's hard to actually know. Would Chelsea have really gone in at £106 million if it wasn't based on a lot of the World Cup? I remember Wenger, love or hate him, did say many, many times, I do not like buying footballers based on a World Cup or a European Championships. Hashtag Karol Poborski. Shouts out to Wenger on that one. He didn't say hashtag Karol Poborski. I decided to throw the hashtag, of course, because I'm Danny AFC TV. We may not need any more. We may have got the perfect team. No one knows till they all play together. Absolute bollocks, because I tell you what, they're not going to play together, because the 3 we've bought, in my opinion, doesn't actually start. If any of them start on Sunday, I'll be flabbergasted, number one. And if any of them was to start, it would only be Jorginho for me if Thomas Partey has done a very Thomas Partey-like thing. And I don't know, give himself cramp in his groin or something. Because he is a bit injury-prone. Is our lovely Ghanaian Thomas Partey. I mean, Enzo is that kind of holding. He can't see. I don't know. For me, he's holding. He's a very brilliant passer, and without saying he's an attacking mid, he seems to be able to go that way down the pitch every time I see him very quickly. Defense-minded, as in positionally brilliant. Yes. Interception-wise, he's very clever. But I'm basing this on 3 games, bro, which were all winning games for them because it was for his nation, Argentina. Lee Akers. I'm going to start on Lee Akers. Lee Akers, what do you think of Enzo fucking Fernandez? Yes, box to box with a bit of mouse about him, bro. He's a smart footballer, isn't it? He's another one that's clever, isn't it? Just out of that smart-ass role where he can sort of glide around the pitch, not really play brilliant for 70, 80 minutes. Not like he's a striker, but he can turn something on. He is kind of creative for me. Yeah. He's at... Does he run at a midfield? I don't know if he'll run a Premier League. Listen, it's going to be brilliant to see in it. I don't know if £106 million. Like, this geezer could be immediately lightweight. I fucking can't wait to Fulham on Friday. In fact, I'm going to fucking do a watch along for it. I can't wait. Listen, if you don't play him from the start, £106 million, I'm spitting my dummies out. If I get wind that can't start him, I'm doing a Chelsea Fulham fucking watch along. Shouts out to fucking Enzo Fernandez fucking up against Fulham. Let's see Balogun. Hold on, let's sell Balogun to Chelsea for £100 million. So I'd like to say Chelsea are total dumbasses, but they're not, bros. When they're whacking down £100 million on someone, I'm rather convinced he's kind of decent. Kind of like the £62 million they played for Mikhailo Mudryk, which will rise to £88 million in about 8.5. Within the next 8 years, yes, it will rise to £88 million. Congratulations to all the mathematicians out there. I think Arsenal could have afforded 88 million over 8 years. It's £10 million a year they're paying for Mikhailo Mudryk. Fucking know what, Chelsea? Absolutely fucking fantastic. Well, it isn't. They paid 62 up front, but regarding wages, everything else, it's scheduled within an 8-year fucking contract. Unbelievable what Chelsea have done this window. Is incredible. No YouTuber like Danny AFC TV. Absolutely respect my brother. Go read what I sent you. What did you send me? Why don't you just say it? Right, hold on. Florian Balogun tops League One, tops the league goal scoring charts. But Balogun's hat-trick comes just a few days after he scored a dramatic 96-minute equaliser against PSG in the Parc des Princes. He is at time of writing the top goal scorer in League One this season. He had a hat-trick of the net 14 times in 20 games, which was a super goal return for any striker. Fuck me, 14 in 20. Fucking hell. 14 in 20 games, which is a super goal return for any striker. He scored more than PSG's incredible attacking trio. Mbappe 13. Mbappe's got 25. I know it's across all competitions, but fuck me. All right, fair enough. Mbappe, it says, can go above him when he plays against whatever tonight. Well, I actually watched Mbappe get carried off injured, so I can guarantee you he didn't go and score tonight. Guys, I'm going to very quickly, I'm going to finish these. Defo down here, AFC TV is the king. Respect Lee Akers, you're the fucking man. Luke is in the building. Good evening, brother. Everton, Luca, everyone. Would you change anything from the 1 to 11, or is it the exact same 11 as we go along? And there's 4 players I want to ask you about: Austin Trusty, Charlie Patino, Florian Balogun, who indeed did score a hat-trick today, and Nuno Tavares. Has these 4 footballers got a future come this summer with Arsenal? Man City is another talking point if anyone wants to get into it. I heard they'd made a late loan offer last night for James Maddison, and they will be sharp in the summer, and they will sign James Maddison from Leicester. That one there tells me Jack Grealish is out of the football club, and Jack Grealish is going to be available and will be linked to Arsenal all next summer long. Next piece of information from Man City. Fuck Liverpool. We're going for Jude Bellingham also. Let the best team win. Anyways, I was looking at Everton's squad. 2 decent goalkeepers, I suppose. Pickford, Begovic. Let's take a look at some of their defenders. Tarkowski, Mason Holgate, Michael Caine, which he did like at Burnley. He could have a future, I suppose. The Russian dude, or Ukraine dude, sorry, the Ukrainian dude, Vitaly Mikolenko, Ben Godfrey, Seamus Coleman. He's got to be about 42 years old. Hello, my name is Seamus. Seamus, are you still fucking playing for Everton Football Club? Fucking cab shite, yeah. How's that even possible? And Connor Cody. They've got a couple of defensive midfielders that I do believe Sean Dych will use to full effect against Arsenal. I'm not going to say I'm worried away at Everton, but they're going to be very defence-minded. I think he'll play three at the back. I think he will go something like Tarkowski, Cody Connor, and Michael Caine at the back. And then I think he'll go two brute defensive midfielders. He's got a few here. Amando Anana. He's got Abdullah Dore. He has got Idrissa Gueye, obviously just come from PSG. Other midfielders, I suppose, Iwobi. Could he cause a threat for us? And Everton's very own homegrown Tom Garner. Tom who? No, James Garner. Fuck me, Danny. Tom. I knew it just didn't sound right. And then we go into their forward line, which, fuck me. Dwight McNeil. Who? Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Who? Dominic Gray, decent player. Andrew Townsend. Who? Neil Maupay. Who? Ellis Sims. Who? She sounds like she should be playing for Everton Birds. All right, Ellis Sims. I'm not going to start on him. Guys, the Everton squad is super thin. Do you know what, Ditchy? If you get this team out of trouble, you're not a bad fucking manager. One thing that I find disturbing, though, considering how much trouble Everton Football Club are in, Dele Alli on loan. He should be there for me, shit or not. The French kid, I think he come in with a decent reputation. Nkunku, but not in Cuckoo. I think it's Nkunku. Mkou. Moises Kane. Andre Gomez. Do you remember the Portuguese guys that popped up scoring goals from midfield? They've got players on loan that I believe. Who's Breathwaite? Oh, he's probably just a young kid. Gomez, Moises Kane, Dele Alli. Could they be in the Everton team doing anything apart from on loan at other clubs? Like, sometimes I don't get the way some English teams do business. It's fucking outstanding. Everton have lost a lot of money on a lot of shit footballers, and I don't know. But I'm not too bad. I've absorbed the window. I'm calm. I see it as it is. We got squad players in. We went about building our squad. We was super thin, bruvs. Let's just say, God forbid, in the next 1 or 2 games, Partey, Ben White, and fuck me and Martinelli all got injured. Now, I don't think we're going to be good if you replace Ben White with Tomiyasu, Partey with, I suppose, Jorginho, and then Trossard with Martinelli. But it's a lot better than what could have been. It could have been Nelson on the left, Tommy still at right back, but at Lokonga, you couldn't put on any being injured in the team. It would have only been Lokonga. So, yes, they're 3 smart signings. Yes, all right, cool. We haven't smashed the bank wide open. We've spent £52 million in cash money on 3 footballers. The Polish kid, he's got decent reviews from everything that I've seen all around the gaff. And, yeah, I respect that. All I'm going to say is I didn't see no other motherfucking club, no Pep Guardiola, no Unai Emery at Aston Villa. I see no one else actually did for him. That doesn't mean he's a shit footballer. I'm just saying already, could this guy be a guy for next season? I'm not really. What I'm trying to say is in that statement, I'm not really holding my breath on the Polish kid being a fucking world beater. Or maybe not even yet. Well, I have read a few things about him, a couple of Italian journalists talking. And you know what? They seem to reckon he's off of a really good cloth, that he's very intelligent. He comes out of defense really well. He's a fucking excellent passer. But all of this, guys, the proof is in the pudding. But from things that I'm reading about our new centre-back, Jacob, very comfortable drawing into midfield. Hence why they say he can play defensive midfield. A very good left foot on him. A reliable defender who has only excelled as Spezia. Good to hear. Chelsea, Fulham. Yeah, bruvs. Very interesting game. It's going to be fucking fascinating to see the squad they put together. But as I hear, bruvs, most of the people, there's the 4 young kids that they bought. The guy from PSV, obviously Marlo Gusto's gone out on loan. So some people are just the striker for 10 million. Well, I can't remember his name. They're all not even a part of the equation. They're not going to see minutes this season. They can't fit them in the Premier League or their Champions League team. So I'm afraid for these players, they've got 6 months of just playing reserve team football and learning the Chelsea way. Juicy, unbelievable. Really disrespectful. They should have sent all of them back on loan to their respective clubs. I don't understand why they're doing this to footballers, professional footballers, young kids, 19, 20 years old. I think it's bang out of order. All of these kids have come to Chelsea with massive reputations, and all of them are going to be sitting around for 5 months. The only guys that will make it into Chelsea's 25-man squad will be Badiashile, Joe Felix, Enzo Fernandez, and of course, Mikhailo of Mudryk. Good evening to Luca. So how much is Balogun worth, Dan? Hard to say, bruvs. 14 goals in 20 games. Fucking unbelievable. 14 in 20, bruvs. Bruvs, if we'd got any offer shy of £25 million, I'd want to knock the club out. I'd be flying over there just to sort them out myself. I reckon he's got to be a 35, bruvs. Listen, you've seen people score a hat-trick and then suddenly he's a £75 million player. I'm not going to say that because he's playing in League A. But I don't. What do you do, Daniel, with Balogun next season? Do you make him battle with Nketiah? I fucking make him battle with Nketiah and Jesus when I think about it. I think he said as one of the star, the Mail on Sunday, the Express, Arsenal saved millions by Balogun. I can see the headlines already. Arsenal was involved in a 70 million struggle for Dusan Vlahovic, but now have decided that Florin Balogun is in fact thy man. W, what are you saying about me, bro? Hold on, what's this? W, what are you saying about me, bro? Say it to my face, I dare you. Hold on, what did WB say? Hold on, I've missed a few comments here. Hold on. What have I missed here? Go read what I sent you. Bang, yes. Defo Dan, Dan, I'm in the manor Saturday. Watch the game. Fuck me, why not? Isn't it Sunday, Everton, Lee? First of all, hold on. Which game, sorry, Lee? Everton is Sunday. I don't think WB said nothing to you. He made me eyebrows. I read out the Florin Balogun thing. I'm sure you probably heard me read it. In all defense to WB, unless he's done something else. Sunday. Is it Sunday? Oh no, it's Saturday. Lee would never be wrong, would he? Half 12, fucking liberties. I'll have a bit of that, bros. I want to get up earlier anyway. Like, I've got to be in the manor bang on early tomorrow at my old flat if you want the absolute truth of everything. Nothing, Lee, I'm pretty sure. So actually, where was I now? W fucking B. Balogun by 45. Do you know what? 35, 45, I'd say that. Guys, what else would you rate Balogun at? More than rating Balogun at how much he's actually worth in the transfer market out here. I want to know, do you guys want him at Arsenal Football Club next season? Do you want him back out on loan, or do you want him sold to stiffen our transfer kitty in the summer? Guys, please get the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. Lee, what's he saying? He said nothing. Not sure. You wouldn't say it to my face. What do you mean? We all got confused here. Mine's a full-on dog. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone, chill out. No one said nothing. WB sent me. He said, "Go look at." It was what I said to him, that there was no way Balogun could be the top scorer in France. It's got to be Mbappe, because I know Mbappe scored 25 and 25. He sent me some bollocks saying that I'm going to go. Who the fuck? You know what? I'm going to settle this one. WB said nothing, but I'm going to settle who's the top scorer in France. Fuck the love, you fucking bollocks. Right? Who's the top scorer in the French league? Oh!
I found this on the web.
I thought he was going to fuck me. Come on. Fuck me. WB's right. What a cunt. All right. Balogun is, in fact, the top scorer in France. I thought with Mbappe, it had to be like he's got 25 goals this season. But all right. Balogun's 14 is more than Mbappe's 25. Fucking say, finish. Sweet. I'm not going to argue with It's BBC Sports. I check something else. Anyway, Balogun 14 in 20 games. That's fucking incredible, guys. Mbappe 13 in 9. Do you know what? Who cares about the rest of it? Balogun is the top scorer in France. I sent down something about Balogun, not you. All right. Yeah, that was the truth. That's what I would. Yeah. We're all getting funny out here today. Leah's a real one out here. God, Leah's a real one. Hazard's a real one. WB, real one. We're all good real ones. No, I got it wrong. End of the stick. Leave it, please. Yeah, nice one, Lee. I've obviously realised he got it. Yeah. He got it the other way around. Yeah, nah, bro. It's nothing like that. It was the Balogun thing he sent me. So can we got off that? Back to Balogun. Guys, does Balogun come back to the club? Is he back on loan, or do we sell him for a summer budget? Akers, WB, none of you tried to disappear until I know or know what some of the real ones are saying. Balogun, is he keep or sell? Always back you, Loli. You know that. Always, always, always. Real ones have always got each other's backs. Right, hold on. Just now, Arteta is going to want to put Jorginho straight in. Do you reckon so? Well, he can't drop Granite because he's left-footed and he doesn't like messing up the balance. Daniel, also from you, brother. Does Balogun come back? Trust in the process, but we've got the left-footed Spenzia kid now, Jacob. The only way I see Patino coming back is if we sell Smith Rowe or Vieira. Because again, we're going to have too many of these kind of 8-stone, really creative like midfielders that are 8 stone. Just know Arteta is going to want to put. Why though? Where? Unless there's a niggle to Thomas Partey, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Yes, he's just signed him. And yes, I don't know if he's played the last couple of games for Chelsea. He might see him as a totally fresh pair of legs and maybe something a bit different in Arsenal's midfield. But for me, Thomas Partey has been clearly the best midfielder this season. Thomas Partey has been close to being one of our best players this season. Thomas Partey is, I'm going to say, similar to Gilberto Silva in the sense of he goes about his work very quietly. I remember saying to Lee Akers, who's a very real one, Lee, do you know I always hated Gilberto Silva at Arsenal, bros? I never got why the fuck he was in the team. I didn't like him as a footballer, and I didn't think he was very talented at all. As soon as Gilberto Silva left Arsenal, do you know, for a good season, there was honestly a hole right in the centre of our midfield, and teams were running through us. And I was active and going to quite a few games. And I was sitting there watching Arsenal just getting shitter and shitter. Silva's gone. We've moved to the Emirates. And I'm like, fuck this Emirates fucking stadium for a start. You know what I mean? It's shit. But back to the story. I was sitting there sort of thinking, shit. And I remember telling WB this as well. Me and WB I would have been right round him at the time because I would have been probably either right round his house or something, whatever it is. What I'm saying is, point being, fucking Gilberto Silva, I actually didn't get what he done in an Arsenal shirt. Honestly, in the 4 or 5, whatever seasons he was there, I didn't get what he done for Arsenal. I never did. We all know that I'm a bit of a bastard at times, and if someone plays 2 bad games in a row, I could be right onto him like a dog, like a pit bull. But real talk, I actually never liked Gilberto Silva, the footballer at Arsenal. Thought he was always just taking someone else's shirt, one of the youngsters in the team. And I always thought, like, how does he even get into Brazil's team? This geezer confuses me. Like, he was the present Fred for me at Man United. How the fuck does Fred get in the Brazil team? How the fuck does he get in the Man United team? This was Gilberto Silva for me seasons ago. And I didn't get it for a bollocks. But I have to admit, I'm always humble enough to admit something. Watching Arsenal 10 games after Gilberto Silva left us, I swear to God, it was like teams were getting red London buses, double-decker ones at that. Ding, ding. The next station is Stoke Newington Station. Ding, ding, fucking all that bollocks. Bros, people are driving buses through the heart of Arsenal's midfield after Gilberto Silva decided to fuck off. Finally, I reckon he'll come on to finish the game. Yes, bros. Oh, that was another thing I meant to say to Hazard last night. There was a couple of points. I wanted to ask Hazard. I was going to name him about 30 people that are out of contract in the summer. And I was going to ask him and Zed, is there any of them they would entertain at Arsenal Football Club? So I'm going to ask all you guys this question now. Maybe I did with Hazard last night. I can't remember. And what else did I say that triggered that? I don't know, Lee. I reckon. Right. And yes, brilliant the way I do things, isn't it? And I reckon now, Holding's career, I know it sounds strange, is now less and less at Arsenal. Holding was that guy when Arsenal 1-0 up. He used to come on for the last 10 minutes. We used to go free at the back and stiffen it up. I don't believe he does this no more. I believe he calls upon Jorginho. Odegaard might go off. Saka or Martinelli might go off. One of the more creative players, either one of the 3. And on comes Jorginho. And it's now turns into, which I kind of said to Zed and Hazard last night, both of them didn't have it, but I can see a few games this season, the last 10 minutes, finishing. Exaka, Jorginho, Partey. Nice and stiff. Do you know what I mean? Stern, stiff. Guys, get into the comments what you think about that. I can see Everton 1-0, last 8, 9, 10 minutes, Jorginho on, fucking Saka off. Yeah, you heard it from Danny AFC TV first. Jorginho will be the guy to sit in right in front of the centre halves now. Even if he wasn't the classical DMs at Chelsea, and I pretty much think he was, what I'm saying is now at 31, he's got 0 legs. I'm so sorry to say. He's never been the fastest, but WB could run backwards faster than him. And if I was to have a straight race with him over 100 yards, I'm faster than him. And I smoke, I drink, and boy, I'm a bit of a party boy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not an athlete, and I don't earn over 100 grand a week. But I promise you, I could run faster than him over 100 yards. And I promise you, WB, probably backwards, the cheeky little cunt, could run faster than that bastard. In full pelt. Like, you know, this is our new Italian full pelt. WB would be giving it running backwards. Quicker than him. Unbelievable. Have you had a shows yet, Lee? What the fuck's he got to do? You fucking police officer? Lee's giving it a fucking tomorrow. I've asked him if she was a fucking police officer. I think he will take Xhaka out until the 60th minute or half time. Nah, the thing is, bros, Xhaka or Gabriel won't come out, bros. He loves left-footed players, and he loves bros. It's the balance of what he does, basically. Something again, Zed said last night. It is true. Zinny does now. He gets the game going at left back, and by the end of the game, he's so far in the centre of the pitch, it's unreal. Obviously, bursting back into left back at a problem. It's all that, do you know what I mean? When someone's out of position, this guy goes over to the left. Xhaka obviously peels to the left, obviously to help out the left back or anything coming down the wing on a situation where obviously the centre is clear, someone's, you know what I mean? And Partey will go over to the right-hand side and do the thing, helping out a right back or his right winger who's got into a tangle. And then Zinny and our other right back, with Ben White, he does kind of go forward reasonably, I suppose. You see both of them not only just pushing down the wing, they're actually pushing more into the centre. Not like four at the back, but they're pushing into centre until the play opens back up and they fuck off and spread again, if you know what I mean. And I think that's what kind of Zed was trying to fill me in on last night, which clearly I know, but maybe it's the way people say things. I say things in a different way. We all say things. I say things in a very traditional fuck you way, as Hazard would know. Dan, Arteta loves Jorginho. You see him after we played them. It's not the first time I've actually seen Arteta do that with players, though. I can't name it the back of my head, but I've seen him walk up to a few players, bros. Maybe someone had an outstanding game and he runs up to him, gives him a big hug on his chest and tells him, what do you think he did say to him? Mate, I could fucking see you in that red of cross. What do you think he said to Lee? Do you think he actually just walked up to him? Yeah, because Ferguson would have. Don't think Ferguson going to do this shit. Which player was it that he said when Beckham went on international duty, he goes, tell this player, because it was going to be his first cap for England or whatever, he'll look fucking beautiful in the red of Manchester. And Beckham actually walked with that message to whatever footballer it was. Do you call that tapping up? I kind of do. Do you know what I mean? Beckham had to travel with a message for, I can't remember who it was, man. Les Ferdinand or something. Tell that big fucking bastard he'll look fucking glorious in the red of Manchester. You know what I mean? Tell that big bastard. I'm not saying this happens so much present day, but you know. I don't know. Maybe Arteta walked up to the big bastard. You see, you bow. You fucking look beautiful in fucking red. You ken what I mean? You'll look fucking lovely in red, wee man. Something like that. Will Partey be available? Well, at least now, which I'm sure Hazard will be very much on the page of this, at least now you don't have to risk a motherfucker. There's no risker man out here. Right now, Arsenal in a title race. Yeah, I've noticed the discrepancy that happening. Right now, Arsenal are in a title race. And it's weird how something can bother me. I'll put my eyes on something's out of place. Go, dun, dun, dun. That's it. Up, get up, you can't. Get up now and go sort that out. Right, every hat quota is there. Perfect. The hat seems like it's leaning to the side. It isn't. It's my camera. I literally can't get the camera right. One day I'll come on 15 minutes early and I'll just sit the thing down or something. Saw that WB. What did WB say? I think. What did WB say? I saw that tomorrow. Hold on. What did he say? I'm getting paranoid now. What do you say? What do you say? I think this. I'll turn this out. Nah, bros. There's no chance of that because it's the left-footed balance, bros. You see him after we played them a few seasons ago. How going to Junior? He'll go straight in. Will Partey be available? I hear he's fine, bros, but I think we're gonna have to look into training and that tomorrow. Like the window's died down. I'm sure the boys are back at training today, but let's have a look at training tomorrow and let's see if Thomas Partey's training. I'll jump on that. They'll be the first things I start jumping on tomorrow. Tomorrow's what? What day is it today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Guys, I tell you what I've been threatening to do for a little while, and I'm finally going to do it. Akers would love this as well. Akers, do you know what, bro? Seriously, get a day off work during the week. You're just a geezer to do this with, bros. I'm going to go down to London Colney, bros. I'm going to figure out when they come out the gate. I'm gonna go, bro. Who's the friendliest geezer? Oh, I think Ramsdale. If I could just stop, open the fucking window. Come in, right? You're on fucking Danny OC TV. Say hello, son. Blah, 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 blah. Just give me 30 seconds, mate. Blah blah blah. I'll train today. Any sort of bollocks, bros. I'm gonna go down to London Colney, bros. I live fucking next to London Colney, the training ground of WB. Would be bang on this as well, actually. WB would go on deep. You'd go into bros, because we'll get done for fucking perversation or something. Because you'll go into the bushes like with a camera in his hand, like Ben White's sweeping out through the back now. Fucking go around, get in a motor and slide around the fucking back. But yeah, it'll be the bushes thing. Someone will see the bushes moving, and I don't know. It'll be like woo 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 woo. Saw WB. What did he say? What did he say now? Oh, it was you that said it all the time. I was thinking, fuck me, Azza said it as well now. He saw it. Fuck me, it's not WB. Let me catch up because I'm seeing this. Soaked everything up. Did you think he was an amazing player the first 20 games you see him, though? Are you in total disagreement? Like, I didn't get what he done for me, bros. Like, I didn't get what he done for Arsenal. But I have to admit, as soon as he left Arsenal, bros, it was like buses were being drove through our midfield. I was like, shit, are we this rubbish? And who was it after that followed him? Maybe like an Alex Song. I can't, oh God, who followed him? And I was like, shit, he can't do this. That's his good shot. Yeah, if we keep an eye on him, he would know Gilberto. Hold on. Yeah, if you kept your eye on him, you would know Gilberto made it sick. I don't know. I think I did. Was I just more of a fuck you attitude then? I don't know. I didn't get Gilberto Silva, bros. I've said it. There you go. I'll say it again live. I never got Gilberto Silva at Arsenal. Maybe in his last season, I'll slowly get in it, bros. I'm not stupid, you know what I mean? But and then when he was finally gone. Anyway, the only comparison I was trying to say about this is Jorginho, that type of player. Maybe is this one. Do I just not notice this kind of boring kind of midfielder that sort of soaks things up, gets things going, and I just don't really. Maybe this is the typical, like we all have our weak spots, bros. Maybe this is just not the type of player I looked upon first. If building a football team, I'm not criticizing anyone or any manager for it. I'm saying I don't think that's my kind of game, if you know what I mean. They offer kind of one or two things and they do that successfully well. Apart from that, I'm not very sure about that kind of footballer. And the question I'm basically asking, before anyone has got confused about that, is Jorginho, in fact, a similar footballer in the mould of Gilberto Silva? Gilberto won us, was just a stopper, wasn't he? He done it well. He did, but he wasn't violent, bros. Like, he was a pretty Brazilian, bros. He had a after he said turn on him. I'm saying he wasn't a DM, bros. I'll fucking go and crack you in your leg. No. And I know Jorginho isn't a defensive midfielder. And I know defensive midfielders changed a bit. That's why I'm kind of still like Moises Caicedo. He's got a fucking bit of nip in him. You know what I mean? He's another one. He's going to have a few sending offs for his career. But that's obviously not what we're talking about right now. I'm talking a DM for me, bros, is someone that snaps the knife out of your ankles. Not in an illegal way, not in a sending off way every time, but someone who's rough, tough, and gets stuck in. Jorginho for me and Silva for me weren't rough, tough, and get stuck in. I think they're more observers. They see danger, they snuff it out, and keep things moving. And what I'm probably trying to say is, so I say it properly, is I think maybe these are the type of footballers that I miss in midfields. Do you know what I mean? Good night to Linda. Night, lovely Linda. Danny Z said it was a pleasure coming on last night. He enjoyed it and wants to come on. I want you to come on the Organise podcast for an appearance. Absolutely, bros. That will be my pleasure. Also, word on road, party is fit to face Everton. See, this is exactly what I'm hearing. So for me, it would be the same team because you are a brave manager if you drop Party. And he won't drop Xhaka just because of the left-footed thing. But if I was going to drop anyone at the moment, I'd be putting... And he was insisting he wanted to start his new £12 million signing. I'm putting Jorginho alongside Party. Fuck the right-footed thing. Party's the better footballer than Xhaka, bros. Do you know what I mean? Party is actually making a lot of shit tick for Arsenal in his midfield this season. Again, perhaps that Jorginho, that Gilberto Silva way. He isn't a 10 out of 10 footballer that runs around, bangs free kicks off the bar and up and challenging here and there and elbows flying. No, but he's tidy, spots out danger. He's got a decent range of passing him. Do you know what I mean? And as I've always said, if you remember when Granit Xhaka, we were talking over a year ago probably now, but people at Hazard, WB, Akers will definitely remember. me screaming about Axaka being a liability and everything. And the one thing I'd always say when people are on Thomas Partey's back, and take your mind back a year and a half ago, I know Akers will remember this, and I know Hazard will definitely remember this. I would say something to the effect of, he doesn't make them Axaka trying to overhead kick it away at Burnley in the area. He's way too professional. He won't sell you short on a dumbass pass back. He won't kick someone in the chest at Anfield and get sent off. I remember saying these things about Partey. He was way too good. He never got caught out, say like Granit did, so bad, he had to go and do something dumb to try and fix up his arsehole of a decision, whatever he made 30 seconds before. And then he's had to go and kick someone 10 foot up in the air because obviously he's made a tragic mistake in the midfield. But guys, do hit the likes of the video. Do subscribe if you're new. I think it'll be an hour-long stream exactly tonight. So how long have we got, Fab? We've only got 9.5 minutes left. Let's see if anyone else jumps in. Where's the UE? Who's upset UE? I'm telling you. Who's upset UE? Very quickly. So Amari Hutchinson was, in fact, offered to Everton Football Club yesterday by Chelsea in the hope that he could go and get some minutes. Everton turned it down. I think that's unfortunate. Is Amari Hutchinson not up to it? Was Sean Dyche just not in a good mood because he had lost out other targets like Oliver Giroud, Beto, and a couple of other strikers he bid for? Barcelona were 2-1 up this evening before I come on the stream. If they did win, they are now 8 points clear. Rafinha scored. Rafinha has been linked again to Arsenal. Bernardo Silva to Barcelona at the end of the season. Man City, bang, 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 tried to loan Maddison late last night into the early evening of the transfer deadline day, which was promptly rejected. Man City will be at the front of the queue for James Maddison and Jude Bellingham in the summer. That's going to cost you easily, I'd say, £170 million there just for the two Englishmen. I would say if them two midfielders was to come in, there's obviously already Bernardo Silva leaves, Jack Grealish will be the other to leave. Trust in the process. Austin Trusty, Patino, Balogun, Nuno Tavares. Guys, out of these four footballers, has any of them, or has all four of them got a future at Arsenal? Or has all four of them not got a future at Arsenal? Would you sell them all for cash in the summer? What do you do with them four players? Freshenda could be taken up in the summer again. The can of worms in the summer of, when I say can of worms, the can of worms being Declan Rice and mainly Moises Salcedo, that will all start again in the summer. Rafinha, summer. Grealish, I'm just predicting tonight, he'll be getting linked to Arsenal Football Club very, very, very soon. Oh, don't hit the floor. Yeah, he's not going to be staying at Man City. If they get Jude Bellingham's already a bit of an attacking midfielder. He's going to have to learn a bit of discipline at Man City. And if they get Maddison's clearly going to be their number 10 for a couple of seasons. If he gets Maddison for about 50, 55 mil and he spent 100 million on Grealish and couldn't get a tune out of him, this is going to be incredible. I'm not saying this is a definite, but from everything that I hear, Man City tried to make a very late move last night to get James Maddison on loan. And James Maddison will be very sharply in the summer window bidded for and purchased by Man City. Jude Bellingham, the word from Manchester is good luck Liverpool. We are going for this player also. So Bellingham and Maddison, let's just say these were Man City's two players in the summer. Boy. Again, without anyone having to shit themselves, yes, Bellingham is a brilliant player. Maddison, is he levels better than Grealish? I would have argued a few months ago Grealish might have been better than Maddison. Who's the better footballer, guys? Who's the better number 10? If you had to sign one of them for Arsenal right now, and I do, because guys, it's almost like you're not hearing me today with certain questions I'm asking, so I want an immediate answer from Hazard, Akers, Daniel, whoever's on the stream, WB. Who's the better? If you had to take one to Arsenal start of the season, I know we've got Martin Odegaard, and for me, Maddison ain't a winger. So for me, I'd have to say Grealish. But anyway, I don't want to influence your answers. If Grealish or Maddison presented themselves to Arsenal in the summer on a cheeky 55, 60 million deal, first of all, does any of you want a Grealish or a Maddison? And number two, which one do you choose? The same money, same wages. I don't want to hear, oh, Grealish is on this much at Man City. Don't give me an answer like that, Hazard, because I can feel it coming. Don't type that. I'm talking straight 60 million deal. Would you choose Grealish or would you choose Maddison? I don't think we'll have a choice because if Man City were going for Maddison, obviously Man City win the race all day long. I'm just saying, theoretically, who is the better footballer? I really hope WB is giving me an answer to what I've asked. I still want Hakimi. Perhaps Hakimi is, in fact, probably the perfect right back. But they spent 63 million pounds on him. I don't think he's done anything wrong. I don't think he's devalued himself. So again, they're not going to ask under 62 million pounds, bro. We realistically, we bid 60 million for Moises Caicedo. I'm not getting negative, or you could all call me negative already, but yeah, we're just not going to pay 70 million pounds for a right back, bruv. 70, 80, whatever, PSG. If in fact they felt they wanted to sell him, or if the guy actually decided himself he wanted a new challenge. He's been in Italy, been in France. I want to try the Premier League now. Which stranger things have happened. That could actually happen to PSG. PSG do play in the league where it literally is just them. It must be quite boring for a really. I couldn't have seen a 24-year-old Ronaldo or a 24-year-old Messi ever wanting to play for PSG. Let's say it the way it is. They play Angers once a fucking whenever. They play Strasbourg. They play Lorient. That, in fact, is the French equivalent of Leighton Orient. That literally is spelt the same as well. Lorient, L, Orient. Do you know what I mean? Look at it. L, Orient, Lorient. And that's why Kylian Mbappe does have to, in fact, leave French football, because he's never, ever, for me, going to win the Ballon d'Or in French football. He scored 7 goals against Angers at the weekend. Who the fuck's Angers? We paid 50 million for a centre back. True. Just to get him a right back. True. The fuck was it? Benny is our new right back, isn't he? In fact, I don't think we'll get Hakimi. I don't think we'll get Dakimi, because do you know what? We've actually got our new. Well, we may as well give him the number 2 or not. Saliba wants a number 2 shirt. Ben White can't take his number twice. But that's official, by the way. Apparently, the Polish kid asked for the number 2 shirt for whichever reason. Don't know if he's ever used it in his life or he's got any kind of attachment to it. But he was promptly told, no, that's Saliba's shirt in the summer. Fuck you. So that's good news. The Spenzia kid was, that's no chance. It is true, bruv. That 50 million to Brighton still surprises me. Do you know what I mean? Decent footballer, wicked age, so I'm never going to cuss. Obviously, even fits the English quota mark. Obviously, you need a certain, I think, is it 8 players, 8 English players, 8 homegrown players you need these days? It does tick a lot of boxes. I was fully behind it when we done it as well. Do you know what? The only thing that's pissed me off with Ben White is his prick of an attitude. How do you become a better defender, honestly, when you don't like football? I've heard him from the horse of his mouth, like from his own good lips, say, "I don't watch football. I don't like it." How do you know your opponents at the weekend? Or obviously, I suppose at training you're forced to watch certain things, but it kind of makes sense why he didn't want to be at the World Cup. He doesn't like football, so if you're not going to be at a World Cup and you're not going to play any kind of minutes, what the fuck do you think he wanted to do there? What, train his bollocks off just to watch the boys play? Oh, you won, well done. I don't think Ben White is probably patriotic or gives a fuck about England, let alone giving too much of a fuck about Arsenal or anything. He gives a fuck about his wages, and yes, I'm not saying he wouldn't try his best for Arsenal. I'm saying he's just a strange footballer. I've never ever heard of a footballer that's been kind of gifted and lucky enough to be in a situation where you can play Premier League football, but as soon as you're out of training, from his mouth again, he said this: I lock off from football. I don't want to hear transfer gossip. I don't read the back pages. I don't want to know enough. I don't want to know anything, nothing about football. My family don't like football. None of us like football. I just happen to be good at it. I do find that massively strange. That's all. As long as he keeps performing, fuck it. I won't say a word. I don't know if he's a better right back or a better centre back. The jury's open on that. But he's doing a decent job wherever he's playing. I don't think he's going to put him back into centre. Listen, since the day Saliba walked in, when me and Lee Akers was at the fucking stadium at Crystal Palace, obviously Saliba's never been injured, but we've never had a situation where Benny White has been back in the centre of defence. If there has been a different right-footed centre-back being called upon for any reason, it has been Rob Holding, as I'm sure we pretty much all know out here. I'm not putting it ifs and whys or a buts. I am clearly, obviously, again, I'm just asking a question. Is Ben White our new right back? Could we, in fact, get ourselves a Hakimi or a fresh end there? This is something, again, I said to Hazard last night before I even read his comments. I said, we do need a right back for the balance of things. Number one, like the way we've got our left-footed balance, like, you know what I mean? I know you and Zed appreciated like the Gabriel, Xhaka. I think you all knew it anyway. Especially Zed. He was like, yeah, he won't start with that. Like Zed got that immediately when I started talking about that last night. I said he doesn't not start with his left-footed players. I don't know. Could it be a situation like this? Hold on, guys. Just getting some goodies out of the top drawer, as I'm probably not going to be off at exactly as I say, 11 p.m. But guys, do get the likes on the video. Do be surprised if you're new. I've now lost things. Let me read Hazard's comments. Let me find. All right, that explains that, I suppose. Madison all day long. Interesting. Anyone else, guys? Lee Akers, can I get your word on this one? But where would he play, bros? He's a classic number 10. He can't play centre mid, and he's not a winger, Madison. Obviously, I'm just saying, for the love of the team, I don't like. At least Grealish can play on the wings. At least he has been coached by Pep. Even though Pep found him a bit stupid and dumb to get through to him, as he's literally said. Like, I haven't asked nothing hard of him. Like, that's when you just know that relationship's going sour. When he says, Dean Smith just let me play, there was nothing complicated. And he says, and then Pep Guardiola's response is, I never once in my life asked him to do something difficult. Like, the way Pep Guardiola answered that, it was pretty wonderful. Like, you could see Pep Guardiola, like, you could see it in his face. The whole fuck you was coming out. Like, are you kidding me, in fact? Are you mugging me off? Pep Guardiola was so pissed off. He was like, I've not asked him one challenging thing. It's all really basic stuff, and the undermines are doing this. It was as categoric as the Zebri, as I'll say once again, has up. The Zebri running Trossard out of Brighton and then telling him, yes, you are a little girl, and you shall not train with my men footballers at Brighton no more this season. You shall train with the kids because you're a little girl. Did you know Trossard was told that, WB? Seriously. You're a little girl, and I don't want you training with my team. You're a little girl. I'm scared. Did we sign a little girl? Or is that just what the Zebri thinks? Or did we sign a little girl? I'll tell you why. Not who's better. We play similar system to City. Yes. It has. That's why Grealish works. It hasn't really worked for Bang Grealish. So, for us, I get it. Mine was all banging off. Where? He's a number 10. There's no chance. You're not dropping El Digard for him. The only reason at this moment I choose Grealish, because I think Grealish could be a good left winger, a better left winger than Trossard. They're similar ages. I choose Grealish over Trossard. I think I've got a slight problem with Trossard, isn't it? I've already... Do you remember we were talking about Jorginho was high and fired last night? I think I'm just trying to find a way of Trossard slipping his way back out of Arsenal in the summer, bros. That's all I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to think, how does Arsenal still get a class winger? I'm still even on the Rafinha hymn sheet if it's just Trossard, Nelson, Marquinhos, and then Saka Martinelli. That is the only two. Thank you so much, Luca. Luca, get more involved, brothers. Get involved in this chat. Again, I'll ask you a couple of questions. Luca, I'm hearing that Maddison is a top target for Man City in the summer. Man City also made a late attempt to loan Maddison last night. I see that as he's pissed off with Grealish. Bernardo Silva, something in the chemistry doesn't seem right. It seems to be minutes, but also it's been rumoured for a long time. Bernardo Silva, it's nothing personal, just wants to go back home to Spain and play for Barcelona. Barcelona obviously are going to be champions this year, straight back in the Champions League and champions of Spain. Of course, Barcelona. I'm not going to say they're back, but they're champions. So currently they're better than Real Madrid, and Real Madrid haven't got the exact same financial difficulties, let's say, that Barcelona have got. I'm going to run into today's reasonably short news because it is very short. So Dean Hudson, he's a 17-year-old Juventus centre-back. He has played this season. He's played as part of a back three for Juventus. If Juventus are playing a 17-year-old, damn, I'm already keeping my eye on him. Arsenal and Barcelona are watching his contract situation as he's getting already a bit tired in Serie A. Obviously, he's been rated better than the other... not Van Dijk. Who's the other young guy that was the young centre-back, Dutch, that was at Juventus? Oh, God, I can't remember his name. Didn't get into the World. He was in the World Cup squad, but he was only on the bench for Holland. He's now at Bayern Munich. Oh, fuck. What's his name? Anyway, Balogun hat-trick. Guys, do you want Balogun back in the summer or do we sell him? Luca, Balogun back in the summer. I'm not sure. I never question Luca. Nuno Tavares, what's his future? Would you bring him back to the club? Balogun, do you bring him back to the club? Charlie Patino, does he go out on loan again? Does he stay at the club or he's on a free at the end of the season otherwise? And what about Austin Trusty, our left-footed centre-back on loan at Birmingham? Does all four of these come back? Does all four of them disappear? Does all four of them go back out on loan? Man City, as I've said, they're top targets. Cancelo, what about him? Yes, Fendermobe. How are you, John? What about Juan Cancelo? Cancelo, I don't think is going to make his way back to Man City. Rewinding to the start of the season, Cancelo was not the number 7. Whoever they sold, Raheem Sterling, if we all remember, they sold Raheem Sterling, and he promoted Canelo to his Canelo, a boxer, Cancelo to be his new number 7. He had a brilliant first half of the season. I don't know what wrong. It really is. Even though they're both denying it, it has to be some sort of bust up in training. The same way Trossard and De Zerbi had a massive argument in training. These things happen. And then usually what happens is, De Zerbi's just got to the club, so the board have to kind of back De Zerbi. I want that Trossard gone. And similar's happened here with Cancelo. He didn't want him. What I'm surprised is he's only got this Rico Lewis going forward this season. Yes, he can go back to the fat boy, England's great right back, Kyle Walker, but he already seems a bit pissed off with him. Has Kyle Walker lost a yard in pace? Well, not statistically, because they were all talking in the World Cup in the summer. He's still one of the fastest fucking defenders in the league, even at 31. But Man City, which I pointed out to Hazard and Zed last night, that's their other problem coming in. Kyle Walker 31, De Bruyne 31, Mahrez 32. They need a little freshen up in the wings. Silva, not sure. He's in his 30s, isn't he? Probably early 30s, Bernardo Silva, but he looks like he could be outgoing anyway. Man City have got a lot of players around the 30 mark. I'm not saying it's panic time, and I'm not saying they still can't get another good 2 seasons out of every name I've just mentioned. De Bruyne another 4 or 5 seasons. But they're going to freshen it up, innit? Rafael Leo, Jude Bellingham could be another one, and Maddison. But the thing is, I think they need something more on the wing rather than a number 10. Guys, please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. We're talking everything a bit random tonight, Jean Arby. I'll go into today's news, which isn't a lot. So listen, there's a couple of questions for you, Jean Arby. Balogun got a hat-trick today. I'm not sure if you know. He is now the top scorer, even above Kylian Mbappe in France. He's on 14 goals in 20 games. Balogun, do we bring him back to the first team next season, Arby? Or is he sold to give us more money? Well, we would hope to think more money for a summer budget. Dean Hudson, he is 17, Juventus centre-back. He's been linked with Arsenal and Barcelona. He's got a contractual problem at Juve. Guys, keep an eye on this one, definitely. Callum Hudson-Odoi has been linked with Arsenal. He hasn't having the most successful time in Germany, but Arteta, maybe like Jorginho, sees a way of making a player out of Callum Hudson-Odoi. As we know, of the window that's just gone, guys, Cedric Lokonga, Marquinhos have all gone. Cedric Fulham, Lokonga Palace, Marquinhos Norwich, free incoming. Jacob Spenzia, Jorginho, Chelsea, and Trossard, Brighton. The little girl from Brighton. Sorry, I'm never going to get that out of my head now. The little girl. Summer, Sinday, the 18-year-old Real Valladolid right back. Apparently, he still will be one of our top targets in the summer. Moises Caicedo, I think that ship has sailed. I'm hearing rumours Brighton are pissed of ours. Arsenal can fuck themselves. They've kind of tried to derail our team, derail our European chances. He wasn't available against Liverpool because of Arsenal. The no good pricks, even though we still won. Arsenal, fuck you. You're off our Christmas card list. Declan Rice will be a target. I hear Rafinha, again, will be an Arsenal target. And Balogun, does he stay or does he go? Boom, 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 boom. And I do believe Arsenal will be linked to Jack Grealish in the next couple of months. The Maddison to Man City thing will start carrying some weight. Man City, I can't believe it, but yes, it's true. They made a late attempt to loan Maddison from from Leicester City last night. So I reckon they will go for Maddison straight away in the summer. I reckon Silva's binned. I reckon Grealish is binned. Cancelo is obviously binned. Fuck knows at right back. Hakimi possibly, WB's guy. Who are they going to go for? Fuck me, they will, innit? They will go for Hakimi, the bastards. I've just figured out Hakimi's next destination. Fuck you, WB. He'll go, fuck. Kyle Walker's 31. He'll go with him and Rico Lewis. He really well. Man City are going to go for Hakimi, Bellamy, and Maddison. There's your world exclusive from Danny AFC TV today. Man City's 3 targets in the summer: Hakimi, Jude Bellingham, James Maddison. Shouts out to me. I'm always ahead of the game. Watch this one happen. I'm fucking telling you. They'll get 2 out of them 3 bastards. You fucking watch. I have a bad feeling about the week. Don't say it. No. But, bros, I've just went through Everton's squad. Now, all right, they've got maybe 3 or 4 centre-halves that I think you'll like. Mason Holgate. Moises Kane. He's on fucking loan. They should be having him back at the club. But anyway, Kane, the Burnley guy, Tarkowski, Connor Cody, Mason Holgate. There's a few centre-backs there. He could play a back 3. Yes, they're going to be stubborn to score past now. He has got 3 good defensive midfielders there. I reckon the starting 2 will be Amadou Anana and Idrissa Gueye. The problem for Everton is going to be is a number 10 and the front 3, bros. They don't score goals and they've got fuck all to do it. Morpie shits the life out of me. Calvert-Lewin shits the life out of me. They've got no wingers, so they should. Oh, Damari Gray and Andros Townsend. Do you know what, bros? It's not good enough for the Premier League football. We should have nothing to worry about. There is that first game manager effect, and everyone turns up for the new manager. But, bro, there should be no excuses. They haven't got an amazing squad. They've got a decent goalkeeper. Like, even Seamus Coleman or Mina at fullbacks, whatever they play fullback, they don't seem very good. They lost Digne, didn't really replace him. I'm not sure. They're weak. They're weak, man. But for me, they're going to go over back 3. They're going to squash out the midfield with 5 in there. Iwobi. He might play 3 defensive midfielders. That Decore, Idrissa Gueye, Anana, and then Iwobi as like a wing back, and I don't know, the other young Dutch kid, the young Everton kid, Tom Smith, or whatever his name is, that cunt in the midfield. Obviously, they've got no Anthony Gordon. Then there's 2 more spots. I don't know. I'd play Gray just behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It isn't the worst team in the world, but it isn't a team that actually should be troubling Arsenal Football Club in any kind of way. Guys, it is almost time to go. Shouts out to all of us in the chat tonight. Only 5 at the second, but shouts out to Luca, to WB, to Jean My RB, to Doc Cotton, to Hazard, to Linda, Lee Akers, anyone in the chat. Is there anything you want to say before I go, people? Then, as I say, Everton this weekend. I'm sure Sean Dych right now. Is it Dych? Dych is working on his best 11. I reckon he goes 3 at the back, 2 defensive midfielders, and then a bit of a Iwobi up and down the line with Damari Gray and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. I reckon he'll get a song out of this, but hopefully not against Arsenal. Fortunately, they've got no one in at the window, but what a bastard for all Evertonians and Everton fans. You've got a new stadium coming in a year or 2, and I don't know, you've got to be a Premier League team, bottom line. But before I disappear, Everton rejected the chance to take Chelsea starlet and former Arsenal starlet Omari Hutchinson on loan. Barcelona 8 points clear in Spain. Bernardo Silva will be joining Barcelona in the summer, allegedly. Man City are making their top targets, James Maddison and Jude Bellingham. Austin Trusty, Charlie Patino, Florin Balogun, and Nuno Tavares. Have they got Arsenal futures? Yes or no, Gooners? Summer targets for Shenda. Seda will start up again. Rice, Rafinha. And I'm going to throw Jack Grealish into that because I think he ain't got a Man City future. Any comments on the Cedric Lokonga or Mark Quinos going out on loan? Any more comments on Jacob, Trossard, or Jorginho joining the Gunners? Callum Hudson-Odoi could be a target for Arsenal in the summer if the price is right. Juventus centre back, he's 17 years old, plays for the Holland under-18s. Dean Hudson is a target of Arsenal and Barcelona. And what do you do with Florin Balogun at Arsenal Football Club, guys? As always, it has been a pleasure, guys. Please get the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we is new. You will catch me again, I'm sure, again tomorrow at 10 p.m. We'll have a quiet week or so on the channel. The transfer deadline's gone. But of course, Saturday, 12:30, Arsenal versus Everton. Will I meet Lee Akers or will I be doing a watch along? Maybe I'll even just drag Lee Akers to my side of the fucking world. Get him up with the sticks. Do you know what I mean? But shouts out to all the real ones. Everton Arsenal Saturday 12:30 kickoff. I'm sure I'll be a live watch along with Danny AFC TV. Can't resist. I've missed the Gunners. I'm sure I'll be at home to watch that game. I'm about to kidnap Leon from London on Friday night. Like, you're coming to fucking village, bruv. Do you know what I mean? On me. Pints are on me this weekend, son. Not a problem. Anything for the real one, that is Lee Akers. But guys, on a real note, I'm going to keep it moving. Please hit the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. Catch me tomorrow again at 10 p.m. For a preview to Everton Arsenal. And we will try and see a little bit of footage of how Dych is getting on in training. And see if we can grab any clues from who his star boys or his main threats are going to be. He has to use the minimal he's got. I wonder if Everton got anyone in the academy. Suddenly you just see two bastards you've never heard of before suddenly spring up and make debuts against Arsenal. That would worry me more than anything. I think I'd rather see Damari Gray and co. and Andros Townsend. Because if I suddenly see like some 17-year-old fucking ginger fucking horrible looking bastard of a kid on the wing, like, oh God, who the fuck is this cunt? And then some big bald cunt in the centre, also 17, fucking from Toxteth, sitting there in the fucking centre mid, I'll be like, huh, who are these cunts? Because I don't know. Ditchy's got some work there, man. They haven't got a fucking squad bolstered full of fucking talent. I'm telling you that much, man. They've got a few defensive midfielders, Decore, Amadou Onana, Idrissa Gueye. They've got a few centre backs, Keane, whatever you want to call him, Michael Keane, Tarkowski, Connor Cody, Mason Holgate. They've got a decent goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. Creatively, I worry for them. Obviously not on Saturday against Arsenal, but what have they got? Townsend, Gray, who I think's a decent talent, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he's all right. God forbid they get any injuries. But on that night, guys, on that note, guys, I mean, peace out. Please, please, please get the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if you're new. And I will. What day is it today, man? Seriously, I'm all out of touch. Wednesday, Thursday. Do I have a day off tomorrow? There's not really much football news going around. A day off after the whole window, the market. See how I feel tomorrow. Friday, there will be the preview, 10 p.m. live. 10 p.m. live of the Danny 2 times. 10 p.m. live, 10 p.m. live. Danny AFC TV, Danny AFC TV. Everton Arsenal. 12:30 kickoff. I will be in the building at noon to discuss team news, everything Arsenal, and to see if any of our free signings are in the actual starting 11, which I very much doubt. Jorginho being the closest, perhaps, if there's a problem with Thomas Partey, or if we just don't fancy risking the Thomas of Partey. On that note, guys, I think we have covered everything this evening. So please be in the likes on the video. Do be subscribing if we're new. There may be no stream tomorrow night. A day of rest, a day of change. You know what? I'm going to change the settings. All the hats are coming down. I'm going to piss off back over to that side. I think I might even paint the wall again quickly. Same shade of blue. I'm really boring. But put up just the YouTube Danny AFC TV. Get a wire for the Arsenal one. And just maybe put this one here up, the YouTube again. I'm going to leave it kind of bare now and see how we get on advert-wise, etc. So if I just have my YouTube Danny AFC TV, my Arsenal crest, fuck, if there's a problem with that and they start giving me ad suitability, I'm going to start telling you, fuck me, I'm not suitable for working here. Guys, on that note, I'm out. Peace out to everyone in the chats tonight. Jean, I'll be your real one. The Doc Cotton, real one, WB, Luco, Hazard, Linda, Lee Akers, anyone else in the chat tonight, you're fucking superheroes. Shouts out to all my real ones in general. That's the Uis, the Lambercounts, the Hanyumis of the world, and the Hussein Jumas. There's anyone I forgot. If anyone I forgot, I'm sorry. But yeah, peace out, people. Good night. I'll catch you tomorrow, or definitely Friday night. Everton, Arsenal, Eve. And of course, just everything or whatever, and Arsenal Friday Night Live. Peace out, people. Good night.